Hi, color therapist Susan McKenzie here. We've arrived at the full moon in August, and what a jam-packed full moon this is. This is a sturgeon blue supermoon. Do you like that? Lots and lots of titles, lots of information shared within the energy of the title of this particular moon. So sturgeon is the sturgeon full moon was named by the Algonquin people of Canada, and it is because sturgeon were numerous in the and plentiful during this time of the year in the lakes. So this moon actually is tapping into abundance. Right? Sturgeons also date back something like 136 million years ago, and they can also live for 150 years. So with that, these large fish also can be found numerously around the world. So with the energy of that, you can understand that this full moon symbolizes versatility, endurance, willpower, tenacity, and wisdom, much like the ancient fish that this moon represents, right? You know, also this time of the year is a lot about perseverance and culmination of all the hard work and the fruition of these long-term goals that we've been planning. And it's also a time for us to acknowledge the strength that we've gathered, right? And the growth that we've experienced both internally and externally. I know that a lot of us have been going through some crazy, heavy internal realizations and shifts within ourselves energetically, right? And it's a really powerful reminder that our efforts are now beginning to manifest, right? This is a moment for us to celebrate milestones and prepare for the transition into the new season, right? And then there's the blue moon, and there are two types of blue moons. There is a monthly and a seasonal blue moon. This particular August full moon is a seasonal blue moon where there are 4 occurring full moons within the season. So that's 4 occurring moons in the summer season and in the northern hemisphere. And that means that, and then it's the third of those 4. So this is the 3rd full moon of the summer season, and there will be another one before the autumnal equinox, right? And the blue moon, when it occurs as a monthly, means that there are 2 full moons that occur within 1 month, and usually there's one at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month, right? And so this is the first supermoon of the year, actually, and supermoons occur when the moon's orbit is closest to the Earth, right? So that means that the moon will appear bigger and it will appear brighter than normal, and we'll just be like, oh, wow. But really, nothing really changes about the moon other than its distance to us, right? And this also, because it's going to be so bright, it is a time for us to, find some very powerful clarity and then go forward and, think about the intentions that we're going to set, right? It's a really great time for us to actually meditate and do some deep breathing for grounding and getting clear on that path that we want to take forward, right? Where we want to go, right? Each year when I gaze at that August full moon, it's just so lovely and bright. Even without a supermoon, but when you have that supermoon, it's almost magical. Or maybe it is magical. Not even almost. It is magical, right? But right now is a time for us to accept that right now is this moment is the time to move forward. It's not like time away from now, right? So what does that look like for you? And you really need to look into that for yourself and get some of that clarity. And this is a perfect time to do it. Use the moon to your advantage, right? And it also is a time where it will boost our manifestation power. And, really remember that the more you cultivate gratitude, the more positive energy you will attract into your life. And that helps us with the manifestation of our dreams and desires, right? And this energy of this sturgeon moon encourages us to cleanse and release what no longer serves us, right? And I know we do that often, but we need to do that often, right? Because as we shift, things shift in our lives and they become no longer relevant in many ways, right? It's a powerful time for us to actually let go of old habits, fears, and emotional baggage that, that may be holding you back, right? Color therapy is a really great way for us to do that. I know I love color therapy, and I think it's just such a magical tool for us to use. Like, by all means, use it, and in your everyday life, it just really helps. If you're getting stuck on releasing some of those things, or you don't know what those things are, you can pop onto my website, susanmackenzie.co, and you will see under the shop, you'll see the Color Mirror oil messages, and you can pick any of those bottles to help you move forward and clear, or you can book a session or whatever you need to do, right? Read that message, because it's a message for your soul, and it costs you nothing but a click, right? Just remember that. And you'll see all the bottles in all their glory, right? So now let's have a look and see what the 2 bottles that I've picked for this full moon season have to say. So the first bottle we're going to look at is this lovely right here. This is number G14. This is Ascension Light, and it is pale gold over clear. And some people, I think, were torn between the 2 bottles. Some people were adamant they knew which bottle they wanted. Yeah, it's a lovely bottle. It used to scare me. I don't know why. I remember the first time I bathed in it, I had actually bought it, and it took me about a month to actually bathe in the bottle, right? But yeah, Ascension Light. And so this bottle, it attracts crystalline, people who have that crystalline energy. And what is that exactly? Well, those are the people who are here to show humanity how to raise their vibration and how to live an enlightened life, right? The crystalline energy is the light of love, right? And that means that anything that is not in alignment with love and with your higher, and subsequently with your higher self, will gradually wash away. And so you will start, if you've chosen this bottle for this full moon, you'll start understanding that it seems to be a lot easier than it has been in the past to actually release, right? The crystalline energy itself is really omnipotent power source, right, that has implications, right, reaching beyond humanity's current understanding. And the language of light that is communicated through the quantum process as color really helps us to replace the accumulated consciousness patterns, right, from the past with the new vibration of light. And I just think that really sums things up. It just really helps us to step into that crystalline energy, right? It encourages and enables us to live, a fuller, more meaningful life, and helps us to actually live in the present moment, right? There's a lot of stillness in this bottle. I mean, you look at it, it feels very, I hate to say this, very black and white, though there's no black in it, but it just seems like it just sits there and holds that space. This bottle really helps us tap into the fact that ascension is not somewhere out there, and that Christ consciousness really is about understanding our connection with all. And, and that means like other people, nature, and all that it encompasses, water, people, animals, plants, trees, amphibians, fish, like everything that exists here is that's what, really helps us to connect in that Christ consciousness, right? And, also to our emotions and our thoughts and our responses and our connection to grief, to birth and to illness. Like, it really helps us to delve into that and what that connection is for us on this planet right now, right? And it is here for us to witness and experience, and then release judgment and just love it all, right? Like, that is the process in this crystalline energy. And that means that we really need to step into our own vastness and what that really is. And, so the question then is, what are you waiting for, right? And if not now, when? It is time for us to really, step up. And, it's sort of like by ending the anticipation of ascension, that is something that's out there that's going to happen at another time, right? We can actually really embrace the day-to-day and the here and now. Right? This light that's being shone on you from this G14 bottle, together with that beautiful super new moon, really, it helps us to get really clear. The clear in this bottle really helps us to get clear, and it helps us to really move forward. And when we get clear, we're clearing our subconscious of that stuff that's keeping us stuck, right? Remember that you are master of your own light. Like, it's really important that we understand that. We are masters of our own light. And so you can keep that low or you can shine it brightly. The decision really is yours. And that's really what the message is here in this bottle. So I say, you know, turn it on full blast and just shine it out and let's just see where it goes. That's the first bottle. So the second bottle we'll look at is this lovely bottle here. This bottle is C12. It is the heart chakra love. Isn't that lovely? Lilac over pink. It just oozes deliciousness to me, just love and whatnot, right? You know, it's just, this bottle really helps us to unite the heart and the spirit, right? And just really oozes this gentle, calm harmony inside, I feel, when I'm connecting to this bottle. Again, have another look at it. Isn't that just beautiful, right? It really helps us to understand the perfection in our lives. And, you know, when we're able to release victimhood in a gentle way, we can then just really embrace the lessons that we've learned with love, right? And, you know, when I say that about the perfection of life, what I'm talking about is, you know, we go, yeah, life is great, but then these crappy things happen, or life is great and somebody passes or something like that. And, you know, really there's going to be something perfect within that transformation that you have, because all experiences transform us on some way, right? And this helps us to look at those transformations as something really positive, right? It really helps us to soothe our wounds and aids us in transforming that past, right? And choosing this bottle indicates that you're open to understanding when your heart, and then when your heart is fully open, right, you are able to attract the things that really feed your soul. And doesn't that sound fantastic, right? You know, sometimes those heart openings that we have, you know, are really unpleasant. You know, grief, for example, just kind of is like ripping a Band-Aid off your heart, right? It just kind of opens this wound that we feel like is never going to kind of close. And, you know, it really does seem like that when we're in the thick of it, right? But, you know, this will help you to really tap into the transformational experiences that you will indubitably go through in this time, right? There's also this really strong mother-child connection with this bottle, right? I love that. And, you know, anywhere that you might see that there is, you know, trauma within the relationship, it can signify, going back into the grief thing, a loss of a mother or a loss of a child, wherever you are in that continuum, whether you are the parent or the child or the grandparent even, it really helps you tap into that, and really it helps us to heal that bond, however that bond felt damaged in any way, right? You know, it really encourages us to open our hearts and really surrender and slide into loving for the sake of loving. And I really like that, right? There's no limitations on that, just loving for the sake of loving. And, you know, this sturgeon full moon is a time for us to release, right? You know, and so it's asking us really to release from our soul the tides that bind us, right? And open with a full heart. And that'll really produce a ripple effect out into the world. And it really is massive, right? Just like that sturgeon, right? And it's also enduring like the sturgeon. But, you know, as we, you know, surface from the deep waters of our subconscious mind, and, you know, it'll help us to really create from a space of love and free from the muck and clutter that is down in the depths of that, right? And, you know, when your heart is in its true form of, you know, it really is a transmitter and a receiver, right? So if it's out there and it's in its full form, shining its light, loving limitlessly, right? It'll help us really guide us towards fulfillment. So that is the second bottle. These are the two bottles for this Sturgeon Super Blue Moon, or Sturgeon Blue Super Moon, however you want to call it. It is a really wonderful time, and it's a great opportunity for us to tap into the abundance and the love that sits there for us. I'll look forward to seeing you on the next new moon.